Hello, everyone, and welcome to Jump Around Weekly, December 14th. Fired up to be here today. No guest this week. We thought we'd sit back and really talk about our program and as we're getting closer to the season, what's going on with our guys and when our season's starting, and just give you guys an update about what's going on. So, of course, we've got, John and Seth along with us, and we're excited. So, guys, what's going on? How's everything going?
Going fantastic. Going really good. We're excited. We're 4 weeks away from season.
Yeah, Gross, how's everything going down there with you? I know you've been traveling the country, competing in RTC Cups, and what's shaking?
It's great. It's great to be back training consistently and just being able to compete. It's been awesome. I've been, it's been tough to get competitions, but been getting a little string of competitions here, so that's been great. And just training and getting these guys ready for season. Like you said, it's coming fast.
Good, good. Well, I know you fans out there. I've gotten a lot of emails and especially a lot of tweets about what's going on with the season and what's going on in the Big Ten season. I can let everyone know that we're going to start either January 8th weekend or January 15th weekend. The Big Ten schedule should be out here in the next, 10 days or so. We are only going to wrestle conference opponents. We're going to wrestle 9 conference opponents over 6 weekends or 6 dates. So we're going to have a quad meet. We're going to have a tri meet, and that's finalized. It's just a matter of who we're wrestling and where we're wrestling. So we're excited, and I don't know what you guys think, but as coaches, I know we've talked about this a lot. Usually the wrestling season is a grind. It's a long, November to end of March. How have you guys as coaches, John, you go first, have we, the mentality you've been preaching to these guys about the length of the season and what's going on?
Well, I just think that, we've been preaching, be ready for whatever comes. And our guys have been ready for whatever's been thrown at them. There's been a lot of uncertainty for the last few months, but the way we've approached each and every day is just get better and control what we can control. Focus on the here and now, not what's going to happen, months in advance. And our guys did a really good job of embracing that mentality and just really focusing on how I know you preach it a lot every day, Coach, is just the details, right? Being very detail oriented. And that is right down to focus on how you can get better each and every day. So our guys have done a good job, and I think they're ready. I think that their minds are fresh. They're ready to compete. They've got a couple of chances to compete sporadically over the last couple of months. And but now I think that we're getting closer. You're starting to see them dial in. Their mentalities are getting, you can just see it. Just the way they approach every practice, you can see that they're getting hungry. The warm-ups are more focused. The live and drill is more focused, and the intensity is starting to go through the roof. So I think you're going to see a hungry group step foot on the mat either that first or second weekend in January.
Hey, Seth, you just coming off, less than a year removed from competing in this long grinding season. I know we talk more about the season's going to be a sprint. How can you, the guys you're working with and the team, how are you kind of preaching these guys to be ready for each and every match?
Yeah. Like you said, this is completely different, right? Guys are used to wrestling a 6-7 month season, then jumping right into freestyle, getting going, and then before they know it, they're starting another season again. So it's been a completely different big turnaround. I think guys are a lot fresher now, a lot just hungry to compete. Like John said, they haven't competed since March of last year, and they want to go out there now, and they're hungry, and it's not, they're fresh now, they're ready to go, and it can be tough to get go through a tough long 6-month season and be ready to go at your best at the end of the year. So I think that it'll be cool to see these guys, they're fresh right now and excited to compete, just see them go out there and really get after guys and just I don't know, just feel a little more hunger in these guys, just because right now you never know when your next opportunity is going to be, right? That's something that's been tough here. And I think our guys are ready to be just flexible with it, right? That's one thing we've talked to them about is, right, just be ready for anything, right? Just be ready day in and day out. When when you stay ready, you don't got to get ready. So I think that's one big thing for our guys is, right, like you said, do the little things right and just be ready every single weekend. If you're the first guy out, if you're the third string guy, everybody's ready to go every single weekend. And I think that's going to help us in the long run this year.
Yeah, what I'm really excited about too is we've really been preaching. We get to throw some of our young guys right into competition without it burning years. We're always every year you always have those guys that, hey, I'm gonna redshirt this guy no matter what, and then someone gets hurt, we might have to pull them out of redshirt. I'm excited to give these young guys a chance. You never know in a dual meet. What's going to give our team the best chance to win. I want to see how some of our young guys step up, some of the guys that we probably would have redshirted this year, and see where that goes. And on the same note, we've been getting a lot of messages, or you hear this everywhere. What's your lineup going to be? What's going to happen? Well, everybody knows Evan Wick is not going to be in our lineup this year. Evan's taking an Olympic year. That's a big blow to our team. That's a guy we see as a national finalist. Not going to be in our lineup this year. So we're going to need somebody to step up at 165 pounds and be the guy this year. And we've got 4 or 5 guys between, whether it's going to be Seth Fosters or Josh Otto or Pat Spray, or a couple other guys in there that might have a chance to wrestle. But, in your opinion, hey, Coach Reeder, what's the one guy that's been working hard, or in your eyes that you're looking for a real bright spot this year?
Well, I got a list of guys that have been doing a great job in the room, but one that stands out above most of them is Jared Kratter. He's a guy who came off a tough year, right? You look at the 174-pound weight class last year, and the schedule that he had to wrestle. It was a meat grinder, right? But he came back every week. He gave us his best effort. He went out there and competed to his best of his ability. But something that I've loved about Jared over the last couple of months, and especially during this quarantine, is he has, and this is another thing you preach all the time, Coach, is winning in the dark, doing the things that, nobody else sees you doing. Jared has embraced that mentality. He's embraced that lifestyle. He's put in a lot of work over these last 6 months, and you can see it in the room, just the way he approaches practice, to the way he approaches his drill, his live. His intensity has gone through the roof, and he's really paid attention to the details and made corrections where he needed them. And you saw it when we went to Omaha and he got a chance to compete in the U23s. He got 3rd in the country, right, at a national tournament. So he's made the right adjustments. He's got a chance to compete again, coming up here in the next couple of weeks. So we're really excited about him, and he's definitely a bright spot.
Yeah, super proud of Kratty right now. I can recall 2 years ago in our preseason when we first got here, Kratty was just right out of high school and didn't know what to expect, like a lot of true freshmen. I'll never forget it. We were on the turf in the football facility. And I know you know what I'm about to say, but we were hand fighting and we were doing the things, and Kratty was having a terrible day. I felt bad for him. It was a bad morning, right? And so I couldn't watch it anymore. It was such a bad day. I said, Kratty, go home. You know what I mean? Go home. You're done, right? Well, he walked out of there. He was all ready. He ran out. He was really upset. And I'll never forget it when I had some phone calls that night saying, hey, Coach, Kratty's really upset. You need to talk to him. I said, what's wrong with him? They're like, he's telling everyone you kicked him off the team. He can't come back anymore. And this was seriously the first 10 days of preseason of his true freshman year. And he was like, he can't believe he's kicked off the team and this and that. And I'll never forget it. I had to call him and I had to, talk to him, say, Kratty, you're not kicked off the team. You had a bad day, man. It wasn't going anywhere. There was nowhere else to go but down. I wanted to get you out of there. And I'll never forget it. From that moment on, that kid has made an improvement every single day he's been in the room. And, with this year being kind of a free year, man, we still got 3 years with Kratty after this year. Right. So I think the sky is, there's no limit for Kratty, and I agree with you. On the same note, Gross, what do you think, man? Being in the room and wrestling with the guys, who do you think is doing really well?
Yeah, like Reader said, I think overall just the team's been doing an unbelievable job of just intensity, showing up every day and doing the things they're supposed to in the room, and really just taking advantage of the time that that we get to spend in there. But particularly, I think one guy that stepped it up ever since U23s and juniors was just Barnett. He's just really took another step up. I just felt like he's had a chip on his shoulder since wrestling. He had 15, 20 matches out there, and he took some tough losses, had a lot of great wins, and I think something clicked for him where he's like, hey, I can wrestle with anybody in the country. And I think that's been starting to be reflected in his workouts, and just I take him down, he gets up, pushes me, smacks me in the face a little bit, and I haven't seen that a lot out of Barnett in the past. So I think he's got a little chip on his shoulder and knows hey, I can beat, I'm going to beat Gross. I think he's trying to come after me now. So that's great for me too, right? Somebody who's going to come in here, compete with me every day, but he's doing the extra things. He works hard in practice, stays after, and he's really just been taking another step up in his training. So I think he's the guy that you're going to see, he fell short a little bit last year and wasn't happy with how his year ended, but he's coming back this year, and I think that he's going to have a great year.
Yeah, I agree. And, I'll never forget that when I went up to him last year, he was a true freshman. And I looked at him, I said, hey, we might need you to go. What do you think? What does your family think? He looked at me, he goes, I'm here to put the W on my chest whenever you need me. Let me in. And we let him in as a true freshman. And sometimes it's hard. It's hard to win as a true freshman in our sport to look through the data. And I'm just happy he kind of gets this year now, and he has done a great job. And I think even though he didn't get to the national tournament, or we didn't have it, but he wasn't going to be able to go, I think he saw the level of competition and where he really needs to go and the training it takes to be at your peak. So I agree with you wholeheartedly. For me, I'm very excited about 149, 157 pounds. We've got a lot of guys in there: Drew Scherenbrock, Garrett Model, and then some guys that I'm looking forward to pushing those guys in there with Devin Barr, and just a lot of uncertainty, and giving a lot of guys opportunities. So I'm excited up and down the lineup. Trent Hilliger, of course, is doing an unbelievable job accepting that leadership role. And then, we're every time we start mentioning names, we're leaving guys out. But as a whole, the adversity we've had with not knowing when we're starting and not knowing where we're practicing and this and that, it's been an amazing, couple of months having these guys back on campus. And I'm excited that hopefully we get on the mat. You see all these cancellations with football and basketball and what's going on around the country. I'm sure something's going to happen where we're going to have to cancel, but I am so positive and so excited that we have guys on our team that, I don't want to put this in any way, but they don't care, right? If it gets canceled, okay, we'll wrestle the next day. Or if that gets canceled, we'll go the next day. And that's the way they are right now. They've seen the way things are canceled and getting rescheduled. Like you guys said, always be ready, take care of the details. And when your time, we talk about opportunity. Opportunity, the only thing you can ever ask for is opportunity. And when you get your opportunity, you better be ready to answer that bell and be ready to go. And that's what we're telling our guys right now, because you never know when you're going to get a chance, and you never know when it's going to get taken away from you. So we're excited, Jess. We're excited, and the team is excited, and we're a couple weeks away. So that's our preview. That's our little bit of things. If there's anything you've got for us, let's shoot away and we can answer them.
Fans are probably most excited just to hear not only about what you guys are seeing in the room. We just haven't been able to see everybody. Who do you guys think really had some standout performances in the limited competitions this fall, besides the guys you mentioned? Does anybody else kind of rise to the top about who surprised you?
Yeah, not who surprised me, but who finally had a breakout performance is Ethan Rotondo. So Ethan is our 25-pounder. He beat 2 NCAA qualifiers. And he redshirted last year, and he's pushing Barnett day in and day out too. That's not a, that's going to be an interesting little deal there at 25 for us. We've got 2 great 25-pounders. Ethan beat two guys that made it to the NCAA tournament. He beat Brandon Courtney from Arizona State, who I think was going to be like the 8 or 9 seed at the national tournament. Ethan is an unbelievable young man. Ethan works harder than anybody we've got around. He'll do anything you ask him to do, and he really, really, not that he surprised me. I think he's right there with anybody. I think he surprised himself a little bit, but it also finally realized that, hey, I can compete with the best in the country. And I'm excited. We've got a couple more years with Ethan too. And we've got, we've got 2 great 25-pounders in our room.
And one thing we haven't had a chance to talk about too much in depth, but we had a really great signing class this fall. Some guys that had signed the year before and are, essentially signed again. And so we've kind of got a bigger class than everybody else. Can you guys talk about who you're each excited about coming up from that signing class? And starting with Coach Bono, but from Seth and for John too, like what can we look forward to in the future of Wisconsin wrestling?
Man, I'm excited. This class, it's a double class, right? We kind of took this year and said, hey, we got it together as a staff and said, what do we want to do, right? We didn't know these guys were going to get an extra year. So when we had to make decisions, we said, well, I think it's best that we see if these guys can Olympic year or gap year. And, we talked to families and parents, and they took gap years, Joe Zargo, Graham Calhoun, Braxton Amos. They took gap years, and it says a lot about what their goals are. So we are very, very excited about that. Was our class 2 years ago that we put together. And then you put it with this class with DJ Hamidi and Hayden Kopis, and I'll let John go through a couple other guys, but man, this is to us, this is the number 1 class in the country. And to know that we have 5 years with these guys plus another year with Evan Wick and Eric Barnett and Berwick and Hilger and KRATTER and up and down the lineup, we're going to be very, very young, and we're going to be very, very good. And I'm very, very excited. I can't wait to get them all together in one wrestling room. and to start training. And it's going to be unbelievable. And I think the future of Badger wrestling is here. I think that it is finally here. We've been here a couple of years, and we've been pointing to this recruiting class to, be ready to go. I've been in a couple of programs, and we've turned around a couple. And if you do it the right way, it's not an overnight thing. It's not year one. It's not year two. It's always, you're looking at year 4 or 5. That makes that's the years that you're going to, if you're any good, that's when you're going to be able to turn that thing around and then make the climb. And we're in year 3 now. We're going to have a great year this year, but year 4 and year 5 and year 6. And from there, we're going to be ready to start contending for titles.
And John, did you have some thoughts on some of the other members of the class?
Yeah, this is a great class, like Coach said. This is a monster class. And we preach this all the time. Our program is built on people. And the young men that we have coming into this program, no doubt about it, this is what we've dreamed of when we got to Wisconsin, bringing in these type of kids to represent the University of Wisconsin. Like Coach said, we got Braxton Amos, Hayden Kopis, DJ Hamidi, Joe Zargo, Graham Calhoun, and then a couple of quick additions, Jack Severin, state champ from Wisconsin, and Cole Carroll from Seton Hall Prep in New Jersey. Those are our current guys that are on board, but we're certainly not done. So keep your eyes peeled.
And for you, Seth, what are your thoughts on the class?
It's unbelievable. And one of the things that I've noticed just in wrestling as a whole is how ready these guys are coming right out of high school. And these are guys that we've been able to see practice and compete, and man, they're going to be good right away, right? These are guys that are just going to step in and they're going to be All-Americans, national, contending for national titles right as freshmen. And I think that it's really cool to just have guys like that. We haven't necessarily had that the past few years. Now, we got multiple guys that could come in and get on that podium right away. So I'm excited for it. And just seeing their progression over the last couple months has been unbelievable. So I think it's great for them. Take this year, with the uncertainty and everything going on, but they're going to be ready, firing out the gates next year.
That's mainly what we've been getting a lot of questions about, is not only schedule, which we already talked about, but just our recruiting class. So I think fans are going to be excited to get this little bit of a sneak preview and what you're sharing today, coaches.
Yes, this is the Big Ten Conference. If you're not winning recruiting battles every year, you're in big trouble. And I'll tell you what, we're going to keep recruiting year in and year out, and we're going to keep bringing the best kids in the country, because we're in the toughest conference in the country, and it's going to be every day. We're recruiting every single day, because if you don't, being 5th or 6th in your conference is like being 5th or 6th in the country. And we want to make sure we're up in the top 1 or 2 competing for national championships every year.
So that's all we had from fans, but certainly if you guys have anything else to share, I know fans are very excited about the countdown as we approach January.
Yeah, well, we're excited, for the fans that I reach out and talk to all the time. We're talking to fans now through Facebook. We've got fans all over the country that are supporting us.
We got super fans.
We got super fans. You know who we're talking about. There's a group on Facebook that we're getting close with, and we love talking to you guys. So, stick with us. We love having you. We love fans in general. I think that our sport is, you guys are at the national tournament. You make the national tournament. Not only Wisconsin fans, but, passionate wrestling fans. And you know what? We need you guys more than ever now with the uncertainty of this wrestling season and everything. Stick with us. Keep supporting all these platforms that are putting on wrestling, no matter who it is. Because in the grand scheme, it's a wonderful sport. And we have some wonderful kids that deserve the opportunity to keep competing.
And I think too, Coach, you've preached this since we got to Wisconsin. We're 100% accessible at any time to any fan. If you have questions, if you have concerns or anything about the program, reach out to us on any social media platform and say hello. We would love to talk to you guys, and we're always accessible. So
I think we're going to be off the next 2 weeks, for the holidays. So hopefully you guys will tune in, ask us questions. We'll be back January 4th. We'll have our schedule breakdown. We should have when we're wrestling, where we're wrestling, and then it's go time. Then we'll start updating you with highlights and interviews from our guys and matches, and we'll get this season kicked off, and hopefully it goes uninterrupted. And we're down to the national championships in St. Louis at the end of March. So with that, we'll wrap it up. We appreciate you watching. Keep tuning in. And again, we'll see you back here in 2 weeks. And as always, start your week off right and jump around.